Animation need to be on. Oh no, we're sabotaged. Okay. Times two! Hello there, and welcome back to the Aether Keep. I will be your host, Robert Kirkman, esteemed writer of such thrilling comics as Invincible and The Walking Dead. And speaking of The Walking Dead, that was me in Aether Raids this week. We're doing offense, not defense, because defense was an old team. Offense featured some new teams and some real stress, because if you look at that bottom row on my side, if you take a look at all those buildings, you might see a couple unusual things. One of those things is no escape ladder, because that ran out of uses on like Thursday. It was one of those weeks. The other thing is that times are so dire that I went to the dark side and added the cringe tower to my setup. We'll see if that comes into play. Oh, but yeah, it was just one of those weeks where I was not playing hot and I was getting matched up with so many teams full of +10s and clods and annoying dance traps and AI shenanigans I didn't know about. Happens to all of us. No ladders left. Sometimes you just gotta play hard. So what I did was actually spend some fodder. I gave Marth that mystic boost so that I have some counterplay to sweep Dazzle shenanigans.
Suggestions?
I waited for those refines and remixes on Dimitri, the bonus unit, and Plumeria, which let me kind of create an alternate team to the Brave Robin team where we use Dimitri as the one ranger, and the unit's kind of good, man. The unit is kind of good. He does way more than I expected him to. And I also foddered a rearmed Crom to Regan at the idea of Phaeology Joel in a recent video, so that we could get that imagery speed tactic to support Dimitri or Robin. And we could even go ahead and pick up the, what's it called? Snag 4 to lay down that wonderful sabotage support. That skill is so good. That is such a good skill.
Why not?
So what's going on here is I wanted to move as fast as possible because I don't have ladders. I need these pots. We gotta make moves. I sort of went too fast. I really wanted to get the adaptive damage from Plumeria onto Marth, but I was forced to move Tana instead with that dance, which got really weird right there, but we just barely get it. And I actually think we probably would have been fine because of the Maria support. I think we would live the first hit and Miracle the second, so it would work out potentially. But kind of saw my life flash before my eyes because there's a mistake in this version of this team where I'm still running Deadeye on Marth instead of Fire Emblem. He said the thing. Yeah. Since I don't have Riley Spectrum can't rely on Deadeye procs, so I do need the other special, which I was testing actually adds like 30 damage because I stack so much speed. Kind of still good, because Deadeye rarely actually matters. So we're gonna keep on running it like that. At least for this particular iteration of this particular team. Anyway, the turn went well, and now it's really just a matter of giving the maximum possible respect to Ninian, even though she probably can't dance the ranged unit who she moves after, but we don't want to find out. We really just don't need to know about that. And from here, it's a matter of getting the enemy team down to just that Mira, who I do not think had a refined weapon. So once we do that, we can... Yeah, she has no refined weapon, so it's very trivial to let her attack into any of my ranged units. Maybe even Plumeria could do it.
I'll do it.
And find our way using guidance shenanigans to get to that other pot. I think you probably get the picture of this match. This was the most important match of the week. It was a rematch because without this one, I don't get to play my other matches. I actually really needed those pots, and staying in the vault was at stake here. So that near miss versus Legendary Robin was actually like I could not have recorded these matches live because I actually would have passed out from the stress. Heart monitor Fire Emblem Heroes Gaming would have been so real for that moment. Anyway, I think you can see where this one goes, so let's get right on to match number 2. These are actually all rematches, and this is the one rematch that is a real rematch, because I went back to the olden times forbidden technique of fishing for rematches. I actually have all of my old 6-unit defenses still saved, so I just put those up to make sure I would have some options. And this person actually did beat my real team, so I didn't know what I was getting into. And look at that, my old nemesis is here. It's that New Year's Leaf, and she is stacking a bonkers amount of speed on top of,
let me think,
Wind Sweep, which with the full no follow-up in her fine, actually creates a unit that's pretty challenging. And I was trying to Giga Brain in this situation and find a way to get Robin to just be able to counterattack and deal with her. I did a lot of math and eventually just gave up, because there are several forces at play here. Like, thankfully we have tempo. Neither of our carries are affected by the guard because of the way this team is set up. The guard that, what's her name? Arvel can lay down. But I decided to bait from this side instead because, I want to say that Mira had Odd Tempest, so the idea was she will probably attack into Robin and we can get one of the dancers off the board, and that is amazing. I wanted to make sure that we were getting every possible bonus end effect onto Robin right there to give him the best odds at victory, and hoping for the best. Now, I think the critical mistake I made here is forgetting I was trying to space outside of Mark's range right there, but his range is actually 5 spaces. So I'm glad I didn't overcommit to doing the math, because it would seem that my math would have been wrong in any case. Do we get debuffed here? Yes. It does look like there is some sabotage going on. And she actually full sweeps me and gets danced and gets off 2 more hits. And Robin is such a monstrous Giga Chad that he can just shrug that off. And you know Marth, even when sabotaged, doesn't play around. That's a big dead eye. You saw it. But check this out. Yeah, she actually has it like that. I don't even know how that works, if I'm being honest with you. Oh, he's under 25%, I guess? So he doesn't actually get all of his piercing adaptive effects, perhaps? We managed to put it together, and from here things are way simpler. Like, I don't think it's possible. Maybe this is hubris. Maybe I am just begging for something awful to come to me. But I don't think it's possible to get Mark up to enough stats to survive the Deadeye retaliation from Winter Marth. Is what I'm thinking here, at least. This was certainly a week. So, I was trying to figure out if there was a way to properly position and deal with this. Ultimately, what I realized is I don't have to fight this turn. And again, Razor's Edge. No room for gaffes, goofs, blunders, or bungles. So we just back off into the corner. We just do what we can. I'm figuring out, like, what the maximum reach Mark can have on a dance is. And so there's a tile right there, safe for Regan. And everyone else, we can just make sure it's covered by Marth. That's going to give us our best odds for survival.
Why not?
And from there, roll those dice. Let's see what we got.
Yes.
This is sometimes, you know, there's just those days where you can't trust your AI knowledge. Looks like it would have been fine here. I would expect the dance to get eaten, but losing proposition, I think, to rely on that. Anyway, Tana is amazing. She can just do that to Famortis. Like, I always just feel like Deadeye doesn't do that well into those kinds of armors. Apparently she has it like that. So now from here, everything just looks so much cleaner. In fact, we can one-tap Mark. Because the dude's DR is only through that remote mirror on player phase. I don't even need Deadeye. I don't even need animations. I just want to get out of here. So this is it. My second Sunday match. Or my second Monday match, right?
Here we go.
Everything looks good.
Let me think.
Except it comes to me. I had exactly enough lift that playing a half match would get me into tier 38 to stay in the vault. So my week doesn't end here, and I want those pots. I took a gamble thinking I can have 2 shots to at least stay in the vault, which seemed smart at the time. Now, while I am losing hair, turning it all gray, putting years of tear on my heart, I realize I must do it again. So, thankfully this was another unrefined Mira, really winning the lottery on those this week at the end of it to make up for its terrible start. And from here it's pretty simple to collect the pots. So we do it, and we gather ourselves back up, because there's still one more match to play. But at least this one gets us into the vault. Thank golly gosh dang goodness. So the final match of the week was this one, which was, again, fished. Perhaps unethically sourced, but plus 10 Frere teams, I would also argue, are that. And they are moving in the situation, so this is a team where thankfully the Dancer is the 7th unit, or one of the Dancers is the 7th unit, where I have the ability to turn off Sigurd's special using Lucia, which severely limits the range they are trying to use to threaten me. And I realize that because Lucia is so dependent on damage reduction, we can in fact use her to bait the Dancer who is functional. I'm also taking advantage of that Plumeria refine, which I think is pretty neat. Really like getting that adaptive damage down just to make sure that we don't leave anyone around to get danced and ruin our day. We don't want that to happen. So we get in position, we say a little prayer, we think things look alright, and we have to watch these fireworks. Lise goes in with a big number, but I come back with a bigger number. And it's the real number. She doesn't have anything to not take that real number. So we get 1. And the bait works. She takes it. The reason I was confident in this Dancer bait was that I didn't think anything that could reach would last a round, so she shouldn't have any opportunities to dance anything. Sigurd comes in with, again, a big number that doesn't end up being so big. We do fine. The final Leo, once again, actually a significant amount of DR, but we get where we need to get. And from here, things look so much easier. And hey, guess what? That's a little dim content for you. Check this guy out, right? He's got meat on his head, and he says, Schwang. I don't know if that was actually in 3 houses. I didn't play Blue Lions, but I mean,
as you wish.
He kind of schwanged it.
As you request.
And now from here,
Close your eyes.
there's nothing to do but bask in the glory of knowing that I actually have it like that. Back against the wall, 0 ladders. Not only can we get it done, but we can get it done without using the cringe tower. It was only there to make me less powerful, to nerf me so I had less room to play with, fewer options in my gameplay. It was all a bait. You thought you'd see me use it. I'll never use it. I don't need it. It was purely for content. And definitely not because I was expecting to get the 3 most brutal catchy balls of all time to fight into and need to somehow hit and run them with Gulveg. That's certainly not what I thought was the case. It's absolutely for raw memes, a little Chekhov's gun, where the punchline is that it never goes off. Anyway, anyone else just have a brutal Astro season, or is that just me? I was not having a good time. I was not having a good time until this very screen showed and I was free. So let me know how your week went. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry if my voice sounds off. I think I have a little bit of a cold. And I will post another video sometime before the end of my life comes. So press the subscribe button, stick around for that. Until then.